You're watching The Daily on Shaw TV Channel 4, and today we are in for a real treat. We are upstairs at Lucky's Liquor Store. That is the resident chef here. Yes, they have their own resident chef. This is their kitchen, and he's going to make us, his name is Tony Rondo, he's going to make, let me just make sure I get it right, Firecracker Tequila Prawns, and then some lemon gin peaches. We've all heard about cooking with beer or cooking with wine. Well, today we are cooking with spirits. Also in the lineup, we're going to visit the Fraser River, where there's a heritage village there, an opportunity to look back onto Canada's past, and if you visit yourself, to sleep in a teepee. We're also going to check in with Marjorie Greaves. There's a boat named Odd Bird, and the character who lives aboard, it's safe to say she is a bit odd too, in a very endearing way. Marjorie Greaves will bring us that enchanting story on this edition of The Daily. We're going to check in with Melissa Hall for this week's installment of your summer driving road tips. And Karen Elgersma takes a trip to Pender Island. If you don't have a car but live on Pender, you need to get around. There's no public transportation there. And they've come up with a very creative and community-minded way to travel from one place to another. It's called Car Stop. Before we get to any of that, though, Jocelyn Matwee checks in once again with Nanaimo Nitro. It's a power wheelchair association that is taking sport to the court with power chair soccer. You're watching The Daily on Shaw TV Channel 4. It is time to get cooking. What are we cooking today, Tony?
Tequila, firecracker, tiger prawns.
Cooking with tequila. Don't most people cook with beer or wine?
Yeah, beer or wine, kind of the spirit part has been kind of forgotten about a little bit, and I think it's really good to use the spirits. Like we're going to be using gin today, tequila, whiskeys, bourbons, anything goes, and it turns out really nice. Just as nice as wine or beer.
Maybe even more flavorful.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean, that's what you add to it. You know, when you got the tequila, you add a bit of a lemon, a bit of lime to it, kind of thing. Everything kind of blends together, and it really works out well.
Okay, what are you going to start with? Okay,
so what I've done here, I had the tiger prawns, and I marinated those last night in some green onions, a little bit of chilies, and a little bit of tequila in there, so that they wouldn't get too cooked, because the alcohol will actually cook the product.
Okay.
So you don't, if you really soak them, you know, it would cook the whole prawn itself, so you wouldn't even have to do anything to it. Right?
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, that's the thing. So you only want to use a little bit just to get the flavor in there until the moment comes, right?
I'm thinking camping, cooking without fire, just tequila. That's a whole different kind of camping trip than the one we took with the family this summer. So what else are we at? So again, prawns don't take very long.
No, they won't take very long. So just kind of, we got this on pretty high heat.
Oh, those look so good. They're gigantic. They're huge.
Yeah, the green tiger prawns.
Okay.
So just get this flamed
up. What can I give you first? You ready?
If you'll give me the garlic.
Garlic.
What I do with the garlic too is I don't chop it very small. I leave it whole.
I noticed that.
So it won't burn. Because if you go too small in the pan with this kind of heat, you'll get burnt garlic, and that's no good. And all the flavor from the garlic will spread throughout.
Okay.
So just add that.
And then?
Then we'll add the red onion.
I'll be your assistant.
Okay.
We've washed our hands and everything.
Yeah. So what we're doing here too is we're making the salsa, the sauce for it at the same time these are cooking, right?
Okay, I like the one-pan dishes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So a little Roma tomato in there.
Ooh, Derek Johnstone's behind the camera. Can you smell it?
It smells fantastic.
Smells good. What do you, onions or?
Let's go with the green onion.
Green onions.
So you see lots of color.
Cilantro.
Cilantro.
Oh.
I'll just mix that up a bit.
Is it getting more popular, cooking with spirits? Are people starting to embrace it a little more?
Oh, I think so for sure, right? It's kind of, you know, the wine and all the beers kind of been done. It's not that those aren't good; those are still good. But why forget about the spirit part of it? I mean, it's just as good to me. And I mean, it's just kind of the forgotten thing. You always got spirits in your liquor cabinet, and there's lots online. You go on the internet, you punch in tequila prawns, you punch in gin prawns. It's all there.
Okay.
And a lot of the great chefs all do this.
I'm getting worried right now that we missed a step. Are we supposed to set something on fire?
Yeah, we'll be setting this on fire in a minute. We'll add a little bit of lime at the end.
Okay. Now here we go. Now, I'm going to stand back. Don't burn yourself, Derek.
Just give them a little bit of a...
So it really doesn't take much at all.
No, not much.
Wow.
Flamed up, and then as these, we'll just kind of turn them down now.
And does the flame add to like a little bit of a searing process? It doesn't get that hot, though,
No,
really.
a little bit of a searing, and it kind of then the alcohol part of it, the flavor's there, but the alcohol part of it burns off.
Okay.
Right? So the same thing as we heated it up. So any kind of in the marinade, as long as it's heated up, it cooks itself off. So the alcohol part isn't there anymore. It's just the flavoring, right?
Okay. And you could use, you mentioned Sambuca for a bit of a sweeter taste, or customize it a bit.
Yeah, Sambuca has always gone great with mussels and scallops and everything. So Sambuca would work in here, gin would work in here, vodka could work in here, anything like that. So.
The only thing left to do is plate that up, which is what we're going to do next on the Daily. Derek Johnstone, I think you've been good enough, you're talented enough, you're skilled enough, you're dedicated enough that we're going to share some of that with you. Before we do that, though, we're going to throw things over to Marjorie Grieve. She's aboard a boat called the Odd Bird, hanging out with a 70-year-old liveaboard who's a bit of an odd bird herself in a very endearing, eccentric kind of way. Before that, here's Melissa Hall with a summer driving tip. If you've been watching this edition of The Daily up until now, you know that we are ready to taste these Firecracker Tequila Tiger Prawns. But you know what? We ate them all. No, I guess I can't say that because you can see them right now. Yes. Resident chef here at Lucky's, Tony Rondo, is plating up I can't take any credit for it whatsoever, his creation, cooking with spirits, something that maybe more people are starting to do in their own homes, would you say?
Yeah, I think so, and it's a good idea. Just explore your liquor cabinet. Again, check the internet. There's so many different recipes on the internet. And like I said, this would be great with tequila, gin, vodka, anything like that would work perfect with this.
Okay, is there a delicate way to eat it? Is it just time to dive in now?
I can dive in. I'll just finish here a little bit.
And we're going to tell you, one of the things that Lucky's does is hold cooking classes, and they have a class coming up on September the 5th that tells you how to make this exact dish along with a chicken breast. Yeah, we'll do chicken with forest mushrooms, and we'll probably be doing that with a bourbon. We'll kind of fire that with bourbon. And then the dessert, which is coming up, which is kind of a surprise, I didn't tell you about yet, will be also on the menu. And what we'll do in that, we've got some peaches that have marinated in gin, and then we serve those cold on top of a warm piece of brie cheese, and it's really great. Well, eating it is one thing, making it is another. You can be the one making it. Check out Lucky's Liquor Store on Facebook for the details, and Tony here is conducting that class. Can we just eat, really? Yeah. You can just... Do I need a fork? No, you just grab on. Okay, maybe what I'll do is I will put some on a fork and give it to Derek. A little side plate. And we're going to throw things over to Jonathan Horst because he's taking us back to an old way of life on the banks of the Fraser River in this edition of Big Summer. Here, Derek, this one's for you. No, I think thanks are going to have it. It's like... It's fascinating looking at all the different things you can do throughout the province through our Big Summer series. You're watching The Daily on Shaw TV Channel 4, and just when I thought, the job couldn't get any better, we had some Firecracker Tequila Tiger Prawns. We have baked brie. Yep, baked brie. Just put that in the oven at about 225 for about 10 minutes just to soften it up a little bit. And what I have here is the peaches, which I marinated in gin. Okay, I'm going to tilt them this way to the camera just a little bit. How long have they been marinated? These are overnight. Okay. So these, again, it's a little bit strong taste, because we're not really cooking it off, but it's not overbearing, right? Right. So, you can always come in and talk to me, too, about certain recipes and everything and how much you really add to it. Like, it's not very much because it just soaks it right up. And then what I have in here is fresh mint and then and then lemon zest. Lemon zest, orange zest, lime zest, it's always nice, refreshing. Especially in summer if it wasn't raining out like it is right now. Summer that we had for about a month. Yeah, so summer's kind of over. So. And the fresh peaches, of course, in season. You could work with any fruit. Oh yeah, really? Plums would really go here, or even apples, but especially some nice plums. Okay, and do you have to worry, like you did with the prawns, that the alcohol is actually going to cook the fruit if you let it marinate too long? A little bit more. It kind of does cook it, but it's okay because it's kind of flavoring it, it's softening it up. So these, when I cut them last night, they were still pretty firm, right? Now they're nice and soft because they got all juicy. I put a bit of sugar in there too, just a bit, because I don't really like my desserts too sweet. And then so we got that like that. Okay, now people can learn how to make this themselves. Cooking with Spirits takes place on September the 5th, right here in the mezzanine area at Lucky's Liquor Store, where Tony Rondo is the resident chef. What do people experience when they come and and do this kind of interactive with you?
Yeah, interactive. They can always ask questions. You know, I'm really just open to any questions about it. And what it really is
Do they cook alongside you?
Not really, but we're thinking about incorporating some of that, like having like me have a sous chef and kind of making up an apron kind of thing for them to actually participate in some of it. So you could actually, because I usually do 3 different courses, so you could have 3 different people help me out in each individual course. And what we do here is I demonstrate one dish kind of at a time, and then what I do is I actually make the rest ahead. So even the time restraint, it isn't that slow, because I'm not really having to make all the peaches for 12 people. Right. I just show them how to do a single order, and then they just got to think for 12 people if they were having some friends over, right?
Okay, and
so
you can
very, very much like how they do it on TV kind of thing. Everything's prepared ahead of time.
Now you can get information on how to sign up for Cooking with Spirits through the Lucky's Liquor Store Facebook page. They also have a Twitter account, and I know that I receive a newsletter email every so often that keeps me informed on all the events that are taking place here. Tony also has his own catering business, onthemenu.com.
Yeah, personal chef business. I do in-home dinners and private cooking classes and group cooking classes for people, and I've been running that for a couple of years here in town, and it's been quite successful. So I have different menus and different ideas for party themes or cooking themes on the site. So if you want to check it out, check it out.
It's pretty unusual to have a resident chef in a liquor store. No, a very progressive idea.
Yeah, in the bigger cities, they're kind of leaning towards this. You know, and they're trying to incorporate food with alcohol, and because everything goes so, like today with the spirits and the wine, like we talked about, and everything goes really well. So in the bigger cities, and our owner is from the larger cities, so he figured let's bring this to Nanaimo, right?
Awesome. Okay, well, I'm going to live vicariously through Tony's clients. A personal chef, maybe sometime in my future. Not right now, that's for sure. Thanks for watching this edition of The Daily. You can contact me directly, kate.bergen@sjrb, if you'd like us to come hang out with you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. We're going to eat some marinated peaches. Looks good.
Into that.
Oh my gosh, that looks so good.
Then you got all the textures, you know, the firmness of this.